I'm Sumisha Naidu, and thank you for joining us on KiniTalk. Today we're joined by Dr. Ong Tee Keat. Welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, for those who don't know, Dr. Ong Tee Keat was the president of MCA, and now he is the Pandan MP. And so now we're just going to have a quick chat to you about a few hot topics, and I have to get straight to it. Can you confirm what is going on in terms of the Pandan constituency? Are you going to be standing under Barisan Nasional?
Well, that is not the answers I have the prerogative to answer. I would rather say at this juncture I'm keeping my fingers crossed because we have yet to know what is the ultimate decision made by the BN chairman, that is Dato Sri Najib. But on the other hand, I make my stand very clear. I have never given up hope to contest the seat in order to continue with my service to the people.
All right, and there have been rumors circulating that you have already received the endorsement of the Prime Minister. Can you confirm this, or?
Not exactly. So far, nothing has ever been mentioned about the endorsement. Anything on the candidature is still open-ended. Yeah.
Right. Now, in terms of what's going on, well, the MCA president has, I heard you were surprised that he announced that he was backing someone else, and there are some questions going on from our readers and social media. Because MCA has not nominated you, why not just stand as an independent?
Well, in fact, MCA, over the years, of course, we know the ground rules of the game, because in the coalition, it is the Prime Minister who is also the BN chairman who has the final say. I must qualify my sentence by saying that this has been the tradition, because all component parties, they have the candidates contesting on the BN ticket, not on their respective tickets.
Okay, but you have, however, received some criticism, including from PKR's Rafizi saying that if you run just on the basis that Barisan Nasional has endorsed you straight from Prime Minister Najib Razak, you will be beholden to UMNO. And how do you respond to that?
Well, I think I can understand why he said that. Of course, he is still a newcomer, and he has yet to understand the mechanics of coalition politics. Not in the case of Pakatan Rakyat, because Pakatan Rakyat has yet to register itself as a single party. But having said that, I think at this juncture, well, we have to bear in mind that, so far in the past 20 over years, since my first term as the MP in 1989, now I have never been beholden to anybody, not even to the component party chief or anybody else. And I state my stand very clear, and I have my principles. And I am still standing by my principle.
Okay. And all right, so let's talk about one of the questions we received from one of our Facebook followers, because we told them we'd be talking to you. And Victor Chiu asks, does he seriously think MCA has a role to play in Malaysian politics after GE13? Should MCA lose all the seats they contest in? So I suppose the question is, what's the relevance of MCA to Chinese voters in this day and age? The argument is that a lot of Chinese voters and urban voters are going toward change. So what is the relevance of MCA?
Well, I'm not here to dispense with any prophecy, but as an observer, I'm equally concerned about the future of the party that I had once led several years ago. And I must say that whether the party remains relevant or otherwise, that largely depends on the leadership, the current leadership, and also the commitment at all levels of their members. And whether or not it stays relevant, of course, this has yet to be proven now in the coming GE13. And whether or not it is going to secure more seats or less seats, of course, I do understand there has been a lot of speculations on the ground. But again, at this juncture, we keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, so do you have any predictions on how MCA will fare in G13?
Well, I do have my own mind, but then, well, I don't think it's fair for me to say that in the open, because I do sense that whenever I make any comments, sometimes in my blog or even sometimes in any discussion, public discourse, certainly that would be taken out of context by certain party insiders who are going all out for my blood, I presume. And I see no reason why, as the ex-president, the past president, I deserve this kind of treatment. I don't think it's a fair deal.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean that, what kind of treatment are we talking about?
Well, I mean that, when I say something or when I make my observation, make my points on the party, as what I did in the past few years, I did not mean any malice to anybody, but merely I was stating my stand or my observation, sometimes in my political writing or in any of the public discourse. But unfortunately, certain party insiders or leaders, they chose to blow it up out of context, and perhaps that is one way where they think they could institute disciplinary action against me. And well, I choose to refrain from falling into that kind of trap. Yeah.
I have to ask then, Dr. Ong, who is your party? Would you identify first as an MCA party member or a Barisan Nasional party member? Or
well, in fact, as far as party membership is concerned, everybody knows that I still remain an MCA party member.
But does that
an
come first for you?
Member. I would always prioritize my affinity to Malaysians first, Malaysians. And that is something dear to my heart. Until today, this is something that has been spurring me on. Otherwise, I could have opted out 3 years ago. And because of this, the burning desire to do something for the Malaysians. And I don't believe in rhetorics either. I believe in action and deeds rather than words.
All right, on that note, you have been known to have been a maverick of sorts. You've exposed some scandals and you've been pretty vocal about certain things. Now moving forward, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? Are you going to continue on this path, given that in Pandan you're going to be going up against Rafizi, who has a similar sort of whistleblowing reputation. So what is your plan for the future?
Well, to me, it's not my intention to take this as one of my future legacies, so to speak. But having said that, I certainly, I've been guided by my conscience, even when I serve as a minister, when I serve as a party president. And I chose to expose, perhaps is too strong a word, but I chose to pursue the right path in handling such a debacle at that material time, especially immediately upon the completion of PKFZ project. I chose to re-audit it first and to identify at the same time, now what are the loopholes, or rather the areas of weaknesses that we need to attend to. And from there on, of course, that has led to the expose of the debacle, or rather the scandal. And well, I can see that when you talk about Mr. Rafizi Ramli, of course, well, his strategy, or perhaps his approach, might not be the same as mine. Because in my case, you must understand that the issue proper that I expose, or I chose to expose, is from within. It's not that I resort to finger pointing.
Are you saying as opposed to Rafizi?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because it's not that I was there to pinpoint at others' fault or others' shortcomings or others' scandals, but rather I was doing my own house cleaning when I served as a minister. You see the point,
Okay,
the
so
difference.
you're saying you were just doing what a government, but someone in the government should do as a minister in your capacity.
Yeah, because many a time when people talk about whistleblowing, yes, of course, is a challenging task. But it all depends on, whether or not your target. Are you targeting on your political opponents, or are you doing targeting on your so-called your own people, on your own camp? I think that makes a lot of difference, and that needs different magnitude of courage.
Okay, so I also have to ask, obviously there's also been rumors for quite some time now that you were considering leaving Barisan Nasional to join Pakatan Rakyat or PKR.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
I'm not saying you said that, but it was one of the questions that was being asked to us by actually quite a number of our readers were asking when's he going to join PKR. So can you...
Well, actually, put this way. So far, in the past few years, of course, despite that there have been a lot of speculations from all quarters, and I could see very clearly that some friends from the other side of the divide, that is Pakatan Rakyat, they have been speculating that I might join them. Of course, they do have their justifications, but on the other hand, surprisingly, there were certain elements or certain individuals in my own party who seemed to be quite relentlessly spinning about the possibility for me to jump ship. But I could see that both sides have their own ulterior motive. On one hand, of course, those on the other side of the divide, of course, to them, this is going to be something that might tilt the balance. I mean, that is what they said to me. But on the other hand, the so-called party insiders on my side, in fact, I do understand that they have been spinning a lot of stories, even when I was featured in the same photograph with opposition leaders like Kit Siang or even Teresa Kok. No, they could spin a long story about it.
So you're saying it's all spin? Are you denying any claim?
And so far, in all fairness, the fact remains that I chose to meet nobody, and no single soul from any side, any parties, or any factions had ever met me for eyes.
Okay, so now it sounds like you're distancing yourself from both parties. Yeah. So again, I have to ask you, why not just run as an independent? You seem to have issues with both parties.
Well, of course, in our politics, it's either this side or that side,
okay,
or perhaps the only choice left, if you were to choose none of the above, is to declare independent. Of course, all options would certainly attract a fair bit of attention from the ground. But to me, I would rather keep my fingers crossed at this juncture. It's not that I don't have my own mind. I do have my own mind. But at the same time, I do understand problems confronting both sides of the divide at this material time, at this juncture. But so far, in all fairness, it has never been my habit to brag about others' shortcomings, or perhaps, some of the so-called the dirty linens of the respective parties in the open. I don't think it's a fair deed for me to do. And well, I just keep it to myself, whether or not I know something about Pakatan Rakyat, or I know something about the MCA or BN. But if at all that were to affect the public interest, of course, like what I did on a few issues like PKFZ, or even prior to that, the Chinese school funds issue, I chose to speak up, not because of seeking publicity or glamour, but rather I believe in seeking the truth.
If you were chosen as a candidate, do you expect the full support from your constituency?
Well, of course, you can never win all. You win some and you lose some. That has been a part and parcel of the game. And so far, I think my style of serving the people is that I choose to service the people irrespective of creed, colors, and even party affiliation. And many a time, knowing very well that the guy might be affiliated to the opposing side of the divide. But so long as you have a deserving problem confronting you, then I think I am obliged to serve you. Now, when you come to me, so long as you come to me, then I have to service you in the desired manner.
What about the local Pandan MCA? Are they all supportive?
Well, in fact, over the years, I choose not to comment on others, but party machinery, put it this way, party machineries, of course, it varies from place to place. Well, whether or not the party machinery is strong or not, is relevant or not, that largely depends on the people. Whether or not you are hardworking enough, whether or not you are close to the people. I think let the people judge. But I have my own way to keep myself in constant touch with the people.
So Datuk Sri, thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, thank you very much, Datuk Sri.
Thank you.